Welcome back to a new episode of TnL Travels. After our adventure in the desert and mountains, we found ourselves in the royal city of Marrakesh. We decided to rent an apartment since sleeping in the car close to the city center was not really possible. It was definitely nice to stay in a proper home again and get some real rest. We shared the apartment with Liz, Steve, and Lucky to keep the costs down. On our second day in Marrakesh, we ordered a taxi that brought us to the Kotobia Mosque. Here we met a young guide who took us through parts of the Medina. The tour worked on donations, so you only paid if you wanted to. Once the group was completed, he guided us past the Kotobia Mosque and explained all the ins and outs of the building. After that, we walked through a nearby park called La Hasna, also known as the Kotobia Gardens. The park is located right next to the famous Gemma El Fna Square and the Medina. It's a peaceful oasis filled with orange trees, olive trees, and fountains. The Royal Palace, also known as Dar el Maksen, is one of the official residences of the King of Morocco. It's heavily guarded and not accessible to the public. At every entrance, strict members of the Royal Guard stand watch, and taking photos near the palace wall is strictly forbidden. After that, we entered the Medina, where our guide showed us different districts that were once and in some cases still are inhabited by different religious communities. Every gate we passed through led us into another district of the city. Eventually, we visited one of the many tea houses where you can buy perfumes, natural remedies, skincare and hair products, herbs and spices. Our guide then brought us to the heart of the Medina, Gemma El Fna, the lively square center of Marrakesh. This historic square is famous for its vibrant atmosphere, traditional market stalls and street performance. Here he gave us several recommendations for restaurants, food stalls and shops, and answered our questions about the city. Before the tour, we expected Marrakesh to feel overwhelming and chaotic, but thanks to his introduction, we already felt more comfortable navigating the city. After the tour, we tried one of the many fresh fruit juice stalls. Some juices were incredibly sweet, while others tasted much more natural. It really depended on which stall you chose. After the tour, Steve went back home, while Lisa and I wandered through the city a bit longer. We grabbed a very nice coffee and wandered a little bit more. The next day, Liz and Steve had to bring their car to a mechanic. We joined, and after that we went back to the Medina. Start of having a really nice dinner at this beautiful terrace looking over the Atlas Mountains and the beautiful city of Marrakesh. That evening we went out for dinner with Liz and Steve, because the next day we would all go our own separate ways again. The following day we said our goodbyes and headed towards Marrakesh airport to welcome Lisa's family to Morocco.
So we just spent a few days in Marrakesh. It's a very beautiful city. We
Definitely recommend to go there.
Yes, we didn't expect it to be so nice
Peaceful.
because we were used to Fez, and Fez is quite chaotic, small alleys and all that. So Marrakesh, very good. Take a tour
Free walking tour. Nice.
based on donations. We picked up the family from the airport. They're coming here to celebrate Christmas with us and New Year's, New Year, Sylvester. Right now we are on our way to Essaouira.
The weather is getting a little bit more cloudy again, but we hope we see some more sun in the next coming days.
Yes, and I'm very excited to go back to the coast, have some surf, try out the shortboard. Even in Fez, there was a Frenchman who said I was trying to make people jealous with my surfboard there, so far away from the coast. And we left our friends, our dear friends, Stevie and Liz.
And
Lucky. We hope to see them again because we still have their microphone.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
After meeting the family at their apartment, we headed towards our own apartment. We could have stayed in the car again, but it was difficult to find a suitable place close to both the family and the city. So we rented a rooftop apartment not too far from the family and the Medina. The next day we met up with the family and started exploring the Medina of Essaouira.
Here they walk on the bicycle path and they bike on the walking path. Komisch, zegt man in Duits. Vreemd betekent dat in het Duits. Strange, that means in Dutch.
The following day, we made a little excursion to what we thought was an old sugar factory. It turned out to be mostly ruins, and honestly, we still don't know if the camel had anything to do with the sugar production. But it was still quality time with Lisa's mother. Afterwards, we returned to Essaouira for some apéro and dinner with the family.
Lisa and her sister are now buying a SIM card. Yes, in Essaouira. It is cheaper than the official office.
Hip.
Zeer hübsch.
The next day, we visited an animal market in Souk Had Dra. Unfortunately, it had rained heavily the night before and again that morning, and we weren't wearing proper shoes for the mud. Still, the market was very interesting to see, with many people doing business and trading animals. After the market, it was time for a coffee and a cozy evening of ordering food and playing games together with the family in the kitchen. Over the next few days, we explored more of Essaouira. It's a vibrant city where you can surf, kitesurf, enjoy great restaurants, shops, and relax in good spas. Overall, it's a wonderful place to spend time, and during the summer it must be extremely busy. For us, visiting during the quieter season was perfect for spending Christmas and New Year's Eve with Lisa's family. After 2 weeks in Essaouira, we said goodbye to the family and continued our journey towards Imsouane. Imsouane was supposed to be a very surf-focused town, but unfortunately there were heavy storms hitting both Spain and Morocco, and we arrived right in the middle of them. Because of the strong winds and our rooftop tent, we often had to take shelter behind walls to escape the gusts.
Yesterday night it started raining and then we discovered a leak on top of the roof. So we put our awning on top of the roof, as you can see, and now it's not leaking anymore.
Hey!
After 4 days of storms and rain, the weather finally started to improve, and we could enjoy the lively surf town a little bit more. After that, it was time to continue to another famous surf town called had a nice morning. The evening was quite
Loud. Lots of cars passing by until 1 a.m.
Yep.
That was not so pleasant. But after that it was quite...
Yeah, I just feel like I woke up, then slept, woke up, then slept, woke up, then slept. I don't feel tired, so it means I must have slept. Anyway, there, just 200 meters, is a parking place. You have to pay 30 dirham, that's 3 euros. We decided to just park here, literally 3 minutes walk, no, not even a minute.
1 minute max.
And now we don't have to pay. So we learned now that, you know, in Morocco you go to a park place and you have to pay. But at home you have to go to a park place and usually pay. Here you can go to a park place, and if you don't want, you just
park outside.
you just park outside. Like the cars there, and nobody will say anything about it. So that is a plus for Morocco.
Also we have a fruit market, veggie market, like 50 meters away from us, which is quite nice.
Yeah. And when I walked down to the boulangerie and the patisserie, I saw them building up their stands, and now their stands are fully built. Moroccan people working hard on the market. Big beach, sandy beach.
Big beach.
The waves are coming in nicely. Already people in the water surfing. The town is very touristy and perfect if you want to surf, eat out and maybe party a little bit. But for us it became a bit too busy and we started craving some peace and quiet. We continued towards Color Village. We took a short walk around and discovered the little colorful town. We are now in the car on the beach, where we're going to stay for multiple days. Couple days. Today it's quite windy.
Also 40 kilometers an hour is wind today. Tomorrow 6.
So we stayed at the beach at Color Village. There was quite a bit of trash, but it was also a peaceful place without many tourists. Mostly overlanders and campers looking for some peace and quiet. And wouldn't you know, a few days later, Liz, Steve and Lucky arrived at the same place, and we ended up spending another week together there. Every morning Mohammed would drive by honking his horn while selling bread from the back of his car. In the evenings he also sold fresh fish, and for Couscous Friday he would sell couscous. Having this surface on the beach felt surprisingly luxurious, and it showed Moroccan entrepreneurship in all its creativity and charm.
Une mzme et un baguette.
Combien de msem? Un? Non, non, 10 msem pour toi parce que les bars, ils veulent manger. Combien de balles? Un? Ça?
Do you want this one or the other one?
De baguette.
The baguette.
Ah oui.
Et une... Ok.
C'est bien, le bal.
Et une mzme... Ah non, mzme.
Msem, il y a combien de msem?
Une.
Oh,
Oui.
il est chaud.
C'est combien?
4 dirhams, 5, 6, 9 dirhams. 9 dirhams,
Neuf.
merci madame.
Come on, in the van. In the van. In the van.
In the van. In the van.
After spending another week with Liz, Steve and Lucky at Color Village, we had an amazing time together. We shared beautiful evenings, dinners, laughs and unforgettable moments. But after crossing paths so many times and saying goodbye again and again, it was finally time for the last farewell. We had one final breakfast together before saying an emotional goodbye. We met Steve, Liz and Lucky at the beginning of our Moroccan journey, and by now they had become much more than friends. It's rare to meet people with whom everything feels natural from the very beginning. We shared our adventures, difficult moments, and so many good memories together. As Liz said on their channel A Van Called Dignity, it's rare to meet people around whom you can truly be yourself right away, and that's what made it so special. Saying goodbye was difficult, but we knew we would meet again someday by the end. It truly felt like family. And this brings us to the end of this episode of TnL Travels. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to help us grow our channel. Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next episode of TnL Travels.